Your time now, 7:20. Coming up, taking maternity leave, then heading back to work can be a very tough transition, but we have a few tips and tricks to make getting back to work a breeze.
Stay with us. Fox 5 Morning. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Well, most new moms will tell you getting back to work after maternity leave can be very overwhelming, but there are little things you can do to stay sane.
Yep, here to share some tips and tricks about all of that, Annie, is Lori Mihalich-Levin, founder of Mindful Return LLC. Thank you very much for coming in. And she's also the author of Back to Work After Baby.
Back to Work After Baby. Yes, it happens to many, many women.
It does, indeed, and it's always a bit of a struggle going back.
It is. I would say the leading up to even having the baby, you do think about this and how you're going to make that transition easier. But, you know, it isn't easy. That's the thing, you know, and I don't think there are any major tricks other than to really just be organized and train your mind to think positively.
That is exactly the line, along the lines of what I'm thinking about here. So I have two lovely little redheaded boys, and I went back to work full-time after maternity leave with both of them. And I realized that there seemed to be a curriculum out there for pretty much everything baby-related, but not how to go back to work in a calm and empowered way. And I found more and more of my colleagues were coming into my office, shutting the door, bursting into tears, and saying, this is really hard, so how can we make it better?
You have some specific points that you think will help make it better for moms. And the first one is to take care of your own sanity. What does that mean?
If mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. The feelings are contagious, and you really have to take a little bit of time every day to take care of yourself. I know as a new mom, you feel like you have zero margin in the day for yourself. But really, to the extent you can take even 5 minutes on the way to work to stop somewhere. I used to commute to an office. I would go on the metro. Between the metro and the office, I would find a hotel or a park bench and just sit there for 5 minutes and be alone. And you have to carve out those small pieces of time for yourself.
That is so true. What I do right now is I go to Carline early, about half an hour early, and I just sit in my car and take in the sun and hear the birds chirping, and I'm first in Carline for that reason.
There you go.
You know?
Yes, exactly.
So you do really have to carve out that time to stay sane. What else would you say really helps with the transition?
I think knowing a lot of the logistical ninja tips and tricks can really help as well. Talking to other new parents who have been through this before. You know, everything from scheduling, if you're pumping, scheduling your pumping times while you're on maternity leave, putting them on your calendar for the rest of the year, for example. My husband and I sit down every Saturday and do a meeting to plan the week ahead to talk about, well, since we both work, who's on point which day if the baby gets sick, or, you know, what's going to happen throughout the week. So there are strategies for making it more possible.
Sometimes moms do tend to get into this kind of isolated way of thinking, you know, I'm doing it all, you know, I don't get any relief. But you say you got to talk to other moms, because, you know, any woman who's a mom has gone through this. Virtually any woman who's has gone through this.
I definitely sat on the kitchen floor crying too many times thinking, I'm all by myself.
The kitchen floor. I've been on the bathroom floor at 2 a.m. like, what has my life become?
I think community is definitely the answer to survival in the new parent period. And, you know, I really believe deeply in both your in-person and your online communities. And so, for example, when you're going back to work that first week, find other new parents in your office. Have lunch with them that very first week back.
That really helps. I think that is a great takeaway for our viewers, is to talk to other moms, other dads that have gone through it. A colleague here actually, a male colleague told me, because I struggled with, you know, how soon I want to come back, or do I want to come back? And he told me, give it 2 full days, come back for 2 full days, then decide. Because those 2 full days will help you sort of get back into a routine, and it might help you find balance back in your life.
I'd even say that pretty much that whole first year is a transition period. People think, oh, after a week, I still don't feel like myself. Of course not. You have a baby who's waking up 3 times in the middle of the night. You know, it is a year transition back to maybe some part of your prior self.
Yeah.
You've got a session or a program that's beginning on Monday. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. So I run a 4-week online program for new parents. There's a dad version and a mom version who come from all over the place. They can take it any time of day or night. And I run the program every other month. And a new session starts on Monday, March 5th.
Excellent.
Very
Great.
good. Can't forget the dads.
Yes.
Back to Work After Baby. That is the book. Thank you very
And
much, Laura.
remember, I always said to myself, this too shall pass.
That's
with
absolutely
everything.
Season of your life.
That's absolutely right.
This too shall pass. There is hope at the end. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.